Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this hangout to earn more revenue through mobile. My name is Ajay. I work as a partner monetization specialist with the publishers in India, and I'd like to welcome you to this hangout. I'd like to also introduce the people who will be presenting on this hangout today, our channel partners, Readware and Cybermedia. Today, we will be covering topics around native ads, best practices around page speed, AMP, and PWA implementation. We're really excited for this hangout on air, and we hope you find this useful. Now to kickstart the hangout on air, AdSense native product suite. As you may all know, July 5th, we launched our new native formats, the in-feed, in-article, along with our existing matched content services. So what we would like to talk to you about is what is the benefits of having these new formats, how you can optimize these new formats into making sure that you make more revenue, and what is the best way to implement these formats. So moving forward, next slide, please. As you may know, native ads will drive 74% of all ad revenue by 2021. So this is a report from Business Insider, and we would like to go through this in detail just to help you understand what the opportunity of native advertising is, not only in the US, but also in the world. By 2021, native display ad revenue in the US, which includes native in-feed ads on publisher properties and social platforms, will make up to 74% of total US display revenue from a 56% in 2016. So as you can see this graph here, the native pie is only increasing and the display ad pie is reducing, which means that the need for better user experience, the need for more intuitive design, and the need for better ads is becoming more and more important with publishers, and we are here to help you address this need. As you can see the quote from eMarketers, growth of native digital display is being driven by publishers' pursuit of higher value and more mobile-friendly inventory, as well as by advertisers' demand for more engaging, less intrusive ads. So what we want to do is to enable you to address this opportunity and make sure that you can make the most out of all the growth that is coming out of the native formats. So as I mentioned before, we have in-feed, in-article, and matched content. Now we're going to go and look at all the different formats and how we can implement them and how this is going to help you. Next slide, please. New AdSense native offering. A new family of native products for publishers who want a faster and more efficient way to create and implement native ads across their mobile, tablet, and desktop websites. So our formats that we have designed for you are all going to look great on mobile. They're customized for a great mobile experience, but they're going to look great on tablet and on desktop as well. As you may know, mobile is becoming more and more important in the Indian publisher landscape, and we are making sure that we are bringing you the best in-market implementation for native ads across all platforms. Next slide. Native ad formats. So native ads match the look and feel of the site, proving a better user experience, are one of the fastest growing segments, as we mentioned, in the ad formats, and advertisers are allocating more and more revenue towards native advertising. This is very important to remember because advertisers are investing heavily on native, and this is what is driving the growth. As you may all know, once the advertiser invests a lot on these formats, we will be driving higher and better CPMs, and which means better revenue and performance for you guys. Just to give you, I know all of you are aware of the matched content product, so we're going to focus a lot more on the in-feed and in-article product. So just to give you an example, next slide. So if you see, if you see that page, you will see that, this is how a feed on the website looks. And as we keep going forward, next please, you will see that that is the in-feed ad, and this is how an in-feed ad will look. As you can see, it is customized to the background of the page. The look and feel is in sync, and it is clearly called out that it's an ad, and you have a great call to action as well. Next please. This is an in-article one. As you see that in-article, you can see that, how the ad is being implemented and how in sync it is. So the whole idea of native ads is to make sure that it blends with the background and it provides a seamless flow, and it provides the best user experience in terms of ad integration. Next, please. So this is the native in article. As you can see, these are the two formats that have been launched on July 5th. And these are the formats that we want you guys to explore and implement to make sure that you are getting the best performance. The one thing that I want you to keep in mind is one is in feed and the other is in article. There is a lot of customization available, which is easy to implement directly from the AdSense interface. Next slide, please. So the AdSense native ad formats are basically a part of the user flow. And I think that this is very, very important for you to remember, because there is a browsing flow, there is an immersion flow, and continued engagement. So the browsing flow refers to the feed, and the feed is very important because the feed supports the in-feed native ad. So the in-feed native ad can only be implemented in the feed, and this is very important because you cannot implement it anywhere. So all the policies in terms of ad density still remain the same, and that is something that you have to keep in mind, because the content to ad ratio should be perfect. And even if it's a feed, you cannot bombard the feed with as many ads as possible. So in the browsing flow, please make sure that you keep this in mind. The second is the immersion flow, where we are trying to help you implement native in-article ads, which will blend with the background and blend with the article, and we want to make this a seamless experience. So this we're referring to as the immersion flow. And last, as you may already know, which is the continued engagement, which we are talking about the whole matched content. So having these three flows in mind, we'd like you to keep this in mind when you're implementing the ad. Next, please. So AdSense native product offering. As you can see over here, these are the three formats. The in-feed, all AdSense publishers can access this new format. The in-article, all AdSense publishers can access this format. And the matched content is eligible only to AdSense publishers, and this is only for a selected few pages on your website. So what I would like to tell you is to make sure that you make the most out of this, because this is now available for everyone. It is a new ad format that you have not been monetizing before, and it is very important that you make the most out of this. And as you can see, the focus is on mobile, and these ads look beautiful on mobile, and the flow is completely user-friendly, and it provides for a great user experience. It is not intrusive, and ads like this will make sure that users don't implement products like ad blocker. Next, please. So we're going to quickly jump into each of this in more detail. So I'm going to start off by talking about the native in-feed ads. So I think that all of you know that the native in-feed now know that the native in-feed ad goes into the feed of your site. So please make sure that you customize this and you provide the best experience. So one of the things that we'd like to talk to you about is new ad placement, which is incremental inventory for you guys, which means it's incremental revenue, better experience for users, and more effectiveness of ads for advertisers, highly customizable with visual editing. And to implement in-feed ads, you can follow instructions, and we will talk more about these instructions as well. I just want to talk about a couple of benefits of having the in-feed ads. Better user experience. In-feed ads offer a better user experience to your visitors. They are a part of the user flow, and they match the look and feel of your site. The second advantage is monetizing new ad spaces. And this is in-feed ads offer the opportunity to further monetize your page by placing ads in new places. And this is inside your feed, which you could never do before. These are ideal for mobile, but they also look great on desktop. So you may wonder, how is in-feed ads different from the standard ads that we have had in the past? So they are the in-feed ads are different from the standard ads in following ways. They are part of the user flow. They are highly customizable, and they use high quality advertiser ad elements, which means that these are high quality ads and these are very different from the standard ads. So they provide a much better user experience. So to give you some more insight on how this works, in-feed ads only use creatives that have high quality ad elements. For example, the responsive ads from AdWords. This means that while in-feed ads can be more visually appealing to your visitors, they may be a lower CPM in the short term for some publishers. To help increase CPMs, you can also choose the select display ads option inside your in-feed ad units, and Google will basically choose if there is a better display ad or a better native ad, and that ad will serve. So basically, when you are creating the in-feed ad, you have an option called global display, and this global display option is available for both in-feed and in-article. So this will make sure that to optimize the performance and provide you the best ad with the highest CPM always. So this way you will make sure that you're getting really good CPMs, and this way you will be controlling what kind of ads that you serve as well. Next slide. In article. So in article ads are also the second type of native ads that we have launched. So basically, just to reiterate some things that are similar between in-article and in-feed, optimized by Google to ensure they perform well on your article pages, which means optimized by Google is an option that helps you choose native ads and high eCPM display ads. So this option will make sure that the ad with the highest CPM is always showing within your article. This is additional opportunity to monetize your long form content. And we will share this presentation with complete steps on how to implement the in-article ads as well. So just to give you some benefits of in-article ads use high quality advertiser elements like in-feed ads. So they look great and they provide a great user experience. They're ideal for mobile. They're full with ads that are ideal for monetizing smaller screens or spaces available on mobile devices. And you can optimize for Google. So what you can do is you can vary between banner ads and in-article ads, and whichever ad has the higher CPM will be triggered, and to make sure that you're getting the best results out of these ad units. How they are different from normal standard ads are they blend well with the experience of the reader. For example, they use a layout that fits the placement and follows the reader's flow, and they use high advertiser ad elements. So basically, these are specific ad elements that the advertisers are choosing to target native formats. So these are high quality, they're not intrusive, they blend into the background, and they are high performance, which means that they always drive great CPMs. So make sure to select the global display option to ensure that you are getting the best CPMs. Next slide, please. To not forget about matched content. I know matched content has been there for a while, but just to give you some more insights and best practices on how you can use matched content. Matched content is one of the only content recommendation tools that is out there in the market that ensures that your user is not leaving your website and is actually spending more time on your website. So matched content makes sure that articles that do not have traffic on your website are getting promoted, and users are clicking and going and consuming that content as well. So users are not leaving your website, they're spending more and more time on your website with matched content. Earn revenue through natively styled ads and from incremental page views. So one more thing to keep in mind about matched content is, and here's a tip that we have been suggesting to our publishers. Let's take, for example, you have an ad unit that is not performing well on your page. Let's just say it's the bottom of the page ad unit. It's not getting too much, impressions. So what we recommend is to go to the ad units that do not perform really well, the lowest performing ad units on your site. Change those lowest performing ad units with matched content units, because you're not earning revenue from the low performing units. You might as well put matched content over there so that when users go and interact with matched content over there, they can at least increase their retention, and performance of ads in other pages will improve. So my recommendation to you guys will identify the units that are not performing well to you and see if you can integrate matched content over there to make sure that you're driving up retention. Remember guys, if you drive up retention, you reduce bounce rate. If you reduce bounce rate, you increase viewability. And if you increase viewability, you have a chance of getting a great CPM. So with a great CPM comes great performance, and with great performance comes great revenue. So please consider this tip of implementing matched content at ad units where there is low performance. Next slide, please. So these are some best practices on how you can implement match content both on desktop and mobile. So please keep this in mind when you are considering implementing match content. I think this is very crucial. So going forward, I'd like to just quickly cover the AdSense in-feed and in-article best practices, which is on the next slide. AdSense native ads are easy to create and customize to match the look and feel. We have been through this. The best practice is applicable to both in-feed and in-article, and every publisher's feed is unique, but generally have the layout that can properly accommodate advertiser assets and will give you a great performance. So just to keep in mind, make sure that you're keeping the user flow smooth, make sure you're keeping the layout clean, make sure that all of this is blending well with the background, because you want the users to have a great experience. Next slide. This is again more about your interface, so you can go and you can select the best template that suits your site. Next slide. Select the right elements for your ad. Use 1:1 image instead of landscape images if your feed is 1:1 images. Like I said, we'll share this deck with more implementation steps. Next. Align your elements of your ads to match your surrounding content. This is very important because the padding of elements within your native ads should be considered. For example, make sure the space between your image and your text matches the space in your content. And unintentional misalignment can lead the user to feel like that the page is broken, that the overall site is lower quality. So please make sure that you make sure that the padding is right and the alignment is right, because we want to keep everything consistent. Next, please. Match the fonts in your ad unit with the surrounding content. I think this is really important. If your content uses a particular font, make sure you choose the same font. I know that there may be times that you don't have the same font, so choose a similar font so that the user does not feel like a massive difference between the ad and the content. The text color that is too similar to the background color is hard to read, so text with too much contrast can also be hard to read. So keep these tips in mind when you're implementing the native ads. Next slide, please. Do not use in-feed ads on pages where you serve AFS ads. This is just a policy reminder, guys, because publishers may not place AdSense contextually targeted ad units on the same page as AFS ads. This still remains. There is an exception that up to one AFS image only ad may be placed on this search result page. So please refrain from overlapping in-feed ads where your AFS ads are showing. For more details, AdSense for search policies are always available on our help center, so please make sure you go to that. Next slide. In a summary, I'd like to say that AdSense has a new family of easy to style native products to support your needs. Please reach out to reach out to me if you need any more information. And we'd be more than happy to help you out. We're sending you an implementation guide with the native formats. That guide has all the implementation steps, the best practices. We're going to share this deck with you as well. So feel free to go through this and implement it. We have seen a lot of good results right now, so we would be looking forward to hearing your feedback going forward. Having said this, that there has been all the examples that we showed you in terms of implementation have been around mobile, and that is because we can't emphasize how big mobile is and how fast mobile has been growing. So I would like to take this time to quickly walk you through some of the mobile stuff that we have been discussing and we want to bring to your attention. Next slide. Mobile page speed and accelerated mobile pages. I'm very sure that you guys are, aware of this, and we can't emphasize how important this is going forward. Next slide. So here are some stats for you. It's very important to create a good mobile experience. 67% of your consumers have a great chance of converting in an optimized site for mobile. 52% of your users say they are less likely to interact with a brand which is not optimized for mobile. 61% of your users will leave for another site if they cannot find what they're looking for. And 47% of your users expect sites to load in under 2 seconds and will abandon if it takes more than 3 seconds. I think that these are numbers that you have to remember, because I think under 2 seconds is what we all should be aiming for, because as you know, users will leave your page if it takes time to load, and page speed is very, very important. And just to like sort of remind you, let's go to the next slide and see how this impacts the some of the companies that we work with. Next slide. As you can see, 2% slower equals 2% fewer searches for Google. And as you can see these numbers over here, faster pages equals more page views. And like, let's see the one for 100 millisecond faster equals 1% more revenue for a site like Amazon, which is, I think, really, really significant. And this can show you how important page speed is. So please make sure that you're optimizing constantly for page speed. We have a lot of products like accelerated mobile pages and progressive web app that can help you do so. And we will be covering a lot more about this going forward. Next slide, please. So as of 2015, our number of mobile searches have overtaken the number of searches on desktop. I think this is very true in a market like India, where most number of searches nowadays are coming from mobile. And I think you have to be optimized for mobile. You need to have a mobile strategy. You need to be focusing on AMP. You need to be thinking about PWA, because this is what users are looking for. Users are looking for things to load in an instant, and users want to make sure that that they will leave your page if it takes more than 3 seconds to load. And I think that if your page does not load fast enough, they will they will get offended. If your ads take too long to load, they will implement ad blockers. So all of this is something that you really need to keep in mind. Next slide. As you may know, page speed is part of the page rank calculation. I know a lot of you have spoken to me in the past asking about your organic ranking. So please keep in mind that if you have a good page speed and a good UX, you have a chance to get a very good organic ranking. We really care a lot about your organic ranking. So we want to help you optimize this. And the best way to do it is to improve your page speed and to improve your UX. Next slide. As users migrate to mobile pages, load time is perhaps the most important metric we have. If you can't load pages fast enough, you can't compete. Consumer expectations in the mobile-led world are extreme. The number of sites that are there available to consumers today is not even funny. And if they come to your site and if they don't have a great user experience, they will leave your site for another site. And we see that bounce rates are going on increasing as the number of mobile sites increase. So please make sure that you consider our accelerated mobile pages and PWA in terms of optimizing your mobile experience. As we told you, most of the traffic in India is coming from mobile, and you have to make sure that you are present to provide the publishers the best user experience. And this can be achieved through accelerated mobile pages and PWA. Next slide. So users have high expectations. We covered this already. 74% abandon your site if it takes greater than 5 seconds. 52% expect the page to load less than 2 seconds. 88% are less likely to return if they have a bad user experience. So we ran a quick survey, which is in the next slide. What do you dislike the most about the web browsing experience on mobile devices. And 46% of this survey replied saying waiting for the slow page load. And I think that this goes to show how important it is and where your users are and what really matters to your users. Um, all I can tell you about the accelerated mobile pages product is it is an open web product. We want everybody to implement accelerated mobile pages to make sure that you have a great experience. AMP is nothing more than like customized JavaScript with a custom JS library. It's an easy implementation. There are a lot of plugins, there are a lot of best practices. Our partners here are going to walk you through the best implementation methods. They have found great implementations. They have a lot of success that they have derived out of this. So I can't wait for you to hear what they have to say. Next slide. Compared to the pages that load in 1 second, pages that load in 3 seconds have 22% less page views, 22% less conversion, and a plus 50% in bounce rate. And I think that this is a great time to take out your mobile phone and try to load your page and see how long it takes. Because if it takes more than 5 seconds, that you're losing out on page views, you're losing out on conversions, and you have a plus 105% bounce rate, give or take. So I think that in the next slide, you will see how bounce rate impacts page speed, and bounce rate are correlated. As you can see, the bounce rate and page speed, as the bounce rate decreases, the page speed increases. So this is very, very important. And I think that please keep this in mind. Please consider the AMP and PWA implementations. And all I can say is that page speed equals money, page speed equals revenue. And the best way to achieve a great page speed is either through AMP or through PWA. Not all the solutions need to work for you, but I think you can find the best solution. And we have partners who are willing to help you implement these solutions. And we want to make sure that you have all the resources and all the knowledge going forward to implement these solutions. Next slide. Like I said, page speed equals money. Now, after we've spoken about how important native ads are, how important mobile is, how important reducing bounce rate is, and how important having a good UX and page speed is, I want to hand this over to Shruti and the channel partners team, who will be walking you through the best practices of PWA and AMP implementation, some of the tips and tricks to improve your monetization, and what you can do to have a better page speed and better UX. Moving over to Shruti and the channel partners team.
Thank you, Ajay. Hi, everyone. I'm Shruti, channel partner here in Google. The team works with Google certified publishing partners to grow business for our publishers by providing them the necessary tools, training, and support. We have two partners here with us in the room today, Readware and Cyber Media, who will walk you through their solutions around AMP and PWA. So I will now call upon the Readware team to talk to you about their solutions.
Thanks, Shruti. Hi guys, my name is Vaibhav and I'm from Readware team. Readware is a Google certified publishing partner and we are working with Google since 2013, and we are helping publishers to improve their optimize their ad revenue and improve their desktop and mobile experiences. Today, we are here to talk about how you can create your own PWA plus AMP solution in less than 5 minutes. Yes, I know this is hard to believe, but yeah, we are making this happen. The whole process consists of very basic and very simple 3 steps. First is insert and validate. You have to insert your content into a platform in the form of RSS feeds or XML feeds, and we'll be validating it to match the requirements. Second step is customize. This is the fun step because in this step, you get to play with your content. You get to play with the look and feel of a mobile set, which is a front-end view of your content and as a PWA. And the third step, oh no, there is no third step. We are live in the third step. In this, we are having a live PWA. Now, I'll quickly take you through, take you to a platform where I'll be demonstrating all 3 steps, and we'll be, making a PWA live. So, hi, this is the welcome screen. I'll quickly take you to the screen where we have to insert our data. Here we'll create a category. Let's name this category test. Again, this next field is category type. This category type is very important because according to this content, according to the category type or the content type which publishers are giving us, we will provide you a front-end view. Let's say you're having a news category, we'll provide you a news view. You're having a photo category, we'll provide you a gallery view. You're having a video category or video content, we'll provide you a video view. Let's pick news for now. You can upload category icons and background color from here as well. This is the category RSS feed where you have to insert your RSS feed or XML feed which you are having. Now we'll validate the feed. You can see on the left hand side, we are having mobile CMS feeds, and on the right hand side, you are having the fields which we have extracted from your feeds. We have to quickly match these fields because we want to extract the useful data out of your feeds, and we'll be displaying that data in our front end. For example, this is very simple. You just have to drag and drop. I'll pick article ID and drop it into post identifier. I'll pick excerpt and I'll drop it into post body. This is very simple. You just have to drag and drop. The fields which are marked red are mandatory fields, and you have to fill it this form very carefully. We'll quickly save this field. Now the content will start importing into our CMS, into our platform. And how this will look like, I'll select a previously made category by the name of top stories. I'll go to the listing screen. This is the listing screen. These are the posts which we have imported from your feeds. And on this post, you can perform a lot of actions that you can edit this feed, edit this post from here itself. You can publish or unpublish it. You can delete it. And this one, this blue one is a very important feature, and this is push notification. You see, PWA supports push notification. You can send push notifications to your users who are having the PWA on their mobile devices. So here, if you send a push notification, this specific story will go as a deep link notification to your user. And once user click it, the same story will open inside the PWA. So that's how you can control, increase the engagement of your users from here only. Now, quickly, we'll jump to the next step, which is customization. We'll go to our progressive web app. We'll go to the config form. This is a form. Here you can see there are lots of fields available, like what is a theme name, what categories or what content you want to put in the menu, what content you put into the home page. There are lots of customization available. You can play with the look and feel. And also you can put ads inside different screens of the PWA. We support all ad formats like Google DFP, Google AdSense, plus other platforms as well. Now we will quickly save this. Now we will go to the URL which we have assigned to our PWA. That is pwagoogle.readware.com. Don't forget to put HTTPS before it. And this is a demo URL. We can configure your URL here as well. That is configurable from the configurable panel itself. Now, the whole PWA consists of 3 screens. One is the home page. Second is the category screen where all the posts inside one category comes. And third is the story screen. Now, the thing I want you to focus is on the page load speed of the home page, category page, and the story page. You can see when I reload this page, my content loads in 203 milliseconds and the whole page loads in 399 milliseconds. Yes, this is less than half of a second. And this is magic, or let's say this is the power of PWA. And this goes with every page we are having. Let's say I'm opening a story page, 264 milliseconds and 414 milliseconds. Now, the magic of Readware CMS doesn't stop here. We have an extra feature for you, and that is AMP pages. We are creating a parallel AMP page for every story page we are making. And those pages are communicating between each other using canonical links. So in case you want to view your AMP page, you just have to append /AMP after the story page URL. And this is your AMP page. There are lots of customizations available on the AMP page as well that you can control from configuration panel. So that's how you can provide your users a perfect user journey. And that's just from my side. I'll take you to Jitin. He will explain you what more services we offer to our publishers.
Thank you, Above. It was a learning experience. I never thought I could create a PW in just 5 minutes. Well, like Vaibhav mentioned, we are Google partners for last 3 years, and we are helping publishers optimize their yield. When I talk about yield, it's just not revenue that we work on, but we also look at various important factors which help publishers improve engagement with the audience, which leads to lower bounce rates and higher revenue. Some of the metrics or some of the parameters that we look into is basically ad layout optimization. We have a tool which is automated, which looks into various positions of an ad. And then we look into content layout optimization, which is basically understanding where to put content for better, higher engagement with the audience. Page speed improvement. I mean, we've already given a demo on how PW and AMP can improve your page speed and create more engagement with your audience, but we also look into technical support. If you're not using DFP as an ad server, we help you migrate to DFP. Alongside, we also manage and optimize your DFP if it's already there on your site. Something again related to DFP is creative template development. I mean, you must have heard of rich media creatives that are quite popular with advertising agencies. We help you develop your user-defined creative template, which runs within your DFP panel. That's something programmatic. Everyone is talking about it. So we also help publishers do programmatic sale in terms of we help you sell your inventory at a really good price with the agencies. And moreover that, like Ajay mentioned in his presentation, search engine optimization, PWAs and AMP really help you improve your organic ranking. So that's something that we do under the Readware Exchange program with Google. Handing it back to Shruti. Thank you.
Thank you, Jitin. That was very informative. And thank you, Vaibhav. I think the Readware solution is really great. I now call upon the cyber media team to walk us through what they have to offer around these areas.
Thanks, Shruti. Hi, guys. This is Rachit from Cyber Media team. I work as publisher monetization specialist and have been helping publishers like you to get the best revenue per click and impression. Yeah, I would like to again thank Ajay, Shruti, Vaibhav, and Jitain for establishing the fact that AMP, the page speeds, the better page speeds, the instant page speeds is the way forward. But AMP certainly is there for the best of the user experience, instant page speed, and improved revenue for your website. But what is the way forward? Let me share a story about, for a publisher like you. Mr. Mohan, who has been, using AdSense on his WordPress-based website and manages most of his website by himself, does a lot of, browsing and researching himself for figuring out the best practices, how to, certainly takes his revenue forward, what are the best SEO practices, and, is still living up and making his way forward. And after, certainly, going up gaga about AMP and wanted to try AMP and landed up to this session today. Certainly wants to try AMP on his website after today's webinar. After initial research and resources online, he has gathered a lot of information. But how does he go forward in real? He has his fears. He doesn't want to mess his present website and earnings, walking the unknown technical path. Mohan needs a hand in his AMP implementation, an AMP implementation partner. A partner who has, who is experienced and walked the journey. Cyber Media, your AMP implementation partner, has done over 30 plus AMP implementation in last 90 days. We believe in end-to-end AMP implementation and have been helping publishers walk through this path, all with hands in hands. Cyber Media brings you the Google certified team to help and support implement the AMP and the mobile best practices during the complete journey. Let's see, step into a technical aspect of how the AMP implementation workflow really matters about. We do not do it in 1, 2, and 3. It's your hard-earned money. We certainly want to invest a lot more time into that and bring you the best of the result. What is your website technology like? Are you a blogger? Are you on a blogger platform? Are you on a WordPress platform? Or are you on a PHP developed website? One size doesn't fit all. So does a similar technology. You need some manual intervention in here. Who does analysis of your requirement? Who knows what your website design is all about and what are the changes that you're looking forward for? Who knows what the implementation and the unit testing or validation would happen when we walk the path of AMP? He knows when he actually implements AMP or gets into the improved, the JavaScripts for faster page loading really work about. What are the operational issues after implementation of AMP? We talked about implementation of AMP for faster page loads, which lead into better revenues. Let me bring you another fact. What about the faster loading of ads? AMP certainly provides that as well. That's where a partner can actually help you way forward as well. We have some early success stories to share with you. Let me share for a website called hinditracks.in. They have a content based in Hindi and English on their website, and it's a youth-oriented website. After implementation of AMP, their revenues increased by 157%. Their page views remain the same. 60% increase in their CTR. That's amazing. And what they changed is just AMP. Sounds great, huh? Let me show you another success story. This is about a website called TV Serial Updates. A small good-to-go website, have been sharing updates about the daily soaps and sagas all about the TVs, serials. Yeah, but they're yet to get the updates about GOT for sure. But I'm sure they would certainly implement it one day. They saw 71% increase in revenue and 48% increase in CTRs post AMP implementation. And for any publisher, that certainly is a good way to walk forward. Cybermedia, your AMP implementation partner, brings you the free AMP consultation for your website and implementation. Yes, it's absolutely free under our package as we work forward with you. You can note down my details here, buzz me, or feel free to drop an email and we can connect over it and see what really fits you. What's a customized solution for your website? I'll even share some of the happy client stories that we have. While working with some publishers, helping them earn best of their revenues, we have helped some of the clients like Candy Reader, and you all must have heard about Rajnikant versus CID jokes, how big the media house they have been transformed all across. We have been taking care of the complete media inventory and have been helping them scale up their inventory as well. How to handle and manage the publishers of different sizes. We have that kind of a capability. It's a human capability to work with you. Presently, we manage about 5 billion ads a month. We have 300 plus premium publishers already with us. We have 2 billion plus page views and 5 billion plus ad impressions working all across that we are managing every month on month. Recent, just to bring back to the cyber media as a group, we are a 35-year-old business group into this. And you must have heard about the magazines called Data Quest and PC Quest, the initial magazines where people really wanted to go forward and buy them for the free CDs that they came about. Yes, we are the technical partners with you since then. We had our own 12 publications. We are a publisher ourselves. We know what your challenges are and how to walk forward with them. Yes, and that's how cyber media can really, walk you through the complete journey. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for the sharing your time today, and looking forward to hear from you.
Thank you, Rachit. I think it was great to hear about the solutions that both Cybermedia and Readware have to offer. And it's very exciting to see how our partners are building technologies and services based on our ecosystem needs. So now I know that the publishers may have some more questions around AMP. We did see them coming in as well. So I feel like, one thing that we should point out here is that we also have a resource. I'm sure you all have seen it. For the ones who haven't, it's called ampproject.org. please do visit it. We have a lot of details around AMP on it. We also have ways to validate your implementation. If you need more details around PWA, they are also available on our resource developers.google.com. The Google team is always here to help you if you need any more support. And if you're looking for dedicated support with help around how to build for AMP, how to build PWAs, our partners have already discussed what solutions they have. If you have to reach out to them, please feel free to do so. Reach out to the Google team. We look forward to like more success here. And now we can move on to the Q&A. Ajay, over to you.
Thank you, Shruti, and thank you, Readware and Cybermedia. I think that that was extremely exciting presentation both our partners have shared with us. I think this is something that all the publishers in India should take advantage of and make sure that they go ahead and work closer with our partners to make sure that we make our mobile web much faster, much more efficient, and a great experience for our users. We have seen a lot of questions come in. We may not have time to address all the questions, but we are going to try our best to answer as many common questions as possible. And if you have further questions, please feel free to write into us and we will try and we will get back to you. As I said, we will be sharing the deck with you. We will be sharing resources with you. So hopefully that should help answer a lot of your questions. And yeah, so one of the most common questions that we had was around native ads and what the difference between native ads and standard ads were. Like we mentioned during the course of the presentation, native ads are highly customizable. Native ads blend into your background. Native ads have high advertiser ad elements and they're part of the user flow. So please make sure that you see these differences and you make sure to test native ads versus the standard ads that you are using. And as I said, you don't have to pick and choose between native and standard. You have a optimize a global display option in your native ad creation path where you can select that and it will give you the best performing ad unit at any given point in time, be it standard or be it native. So please make sure that you make the most out of that. One more common question that we have had, and maybe our partners at Readware can answer this, is what are the monetization best practices for AMP and PWA? Do you guys have any tips and tricks around this?
Thanks, Ajay. So in terms of monetization on AMP and PWAs, AMP and PWAs both support all formats of display advertisement. Plus, there are new innovative formats like the flying carpet ad, which is being used on AMP pages. And like you said, the native ads are there, which are very well supported under Readware platform for PWAs and AMPs. So these are some new technologies which can easily be adopted on these platforms.
Thank you. Moving forward, we have also a lot of questions around, I have implemented AMP, but I have seen that my revenue has dropped. What could be the reason why the revenue has drastically dropped after you have implemented AMP? I'd like to reiterate that the implementation of AMP is very crucial. Like our partners at Cybermedia mentioned, it is not a one solution fits all websites. You have to make sure that you customize the experience for your site and your users. We highly recommend you going through ampproject.org to see the best practices around implementation or consulting our partners for any questions that you may have. So please make sure that you implement AMP in the best possible way. One of the big advantages of AMP is it loads really fast. So we highly recommend implementing your ad unit where 50% of the ad unit is visible to the user and 50% is not, so that when the user loads the page loads really fast, and then followed by which the ad loads, and making sure that you have great viewability. As we've mentioned in many sessions before, viewability is very important to determining your CPC, and that's what will help you improve performance. So So I think the next question can be addressed by our partners at Cybermedia. Any best practices to implementing AMP on WordPress pages?
Sure, certainly there are. There are many, but I'll share one of the good ones that we have actually seen while implementing app. Always prefer loading your ads after after the content loads. This would certainly make your website, the page load faster. Your users stick longer to your page, and the meanwhile, as soon as instantly the page loads or the content loads, the ads loads after that. What would happen is your user experience would always be on your side, and the user is all yours. He would definitely come back for more, for the faster user experience to your website.
Thank you. I think we have some more questions, and we never have a hangout where this question never comes up. Everybody is concerned about how the CPCs are dropping. There are a couple of things that I'd like you guys to consider when thinking about this. The number of publishers that were there 3 years back and the number of publishers that are there today is very, very different. The competition has increased. The number of people making content that you guys are making has increased. The number of export publishers that are showing up in our market has increased. Having said this, with the market having so many publishers, what has happened is the advertiser has a lot of options on which sites he wants to show his ads on. So the thing is, because of which, what is happening is the traffic is being split between a lot of sites, and once the traffic is being split, the advertiser is going after different type of audiences. So having said this, there's a lot more competition, and because of which we are seeing that, yes, at a blanket, maybe CPCs are dropping, but solutions like PageSpeed, solutions like having the right ad format, the right ad layout, having the right type of site, and being present on all the platforms with the right type of ads will go a long way in terms of improving the CPC. Always remember, viewability is one of the most important things that determines your CPC and determines your performance. Make sure that your viewability is always greater than 70%. And if your viewability is greater than 70%, I can guarantee you that your CPCs will always be high. So this is something to keep in mind. And right now the competition has become so stiff, you have to go and think outside the box to make sure that you are driving great traffic and to your site. One thing that I would like to also call out at this point is make sure that your content is current, make sure that your content is relevant. Please make sure to use all the tools that you have at hand to capture your users. And once you do this, once the users are on your site and the users are happy with your page speed and your user experience, the ad performance will automatically improve. So please make sure that you concentrate more on the content, more on the user experience, and more on the page speed, and everything else will follow. Because as we mentioned in our presentation, page speed is a direct contributor to your page rank, and so is user experience. Please make sure that you focus on this. And once you've optimized your page speed and your user experience, then check your CPCs and then see how the CPCs are being impacted. Moving forward, we have some questions around what are the best practices to implement mobile ads. I think we would like to say that please do try out our native format, the native in-feed and the native in-article. We'd also recommend using our standard 300x250 ad units. And like we mentioned as a tip during our presentation, for the low performing units, if you know that a particular ad unit is not making a lot of revenue, you might as well use that space to drive retention. And this you can do by implementing matched content in that particular spot. So I would definitely say think outside the box, think about increasing retention, think about reducing bounce rate, and make sure that you use all the features that we discussed today to drive value to your users and to the advertisers. I think our partners can answer one more question. So I'm just quickly going to direct some questions at our partners. So I think this is more around PWA and AMP, and I will direct this to our partners at Readware. Can I use both PWA and AMP on the same website?
Yes, you can use PW and AMP on the same website. So how AMP works, AMP is a parallelly created page for your every story page, which I recently demonstrated. And those pages communicate each other using an canonical and AMP HTML links. So that's how when someone searches for your content, the AMP page shows up inside the Google search, and you can redirect him to your story page or the main website page. So you can have story page and AMP page for your same website. That is possible.
I'll add to it. Like Weber said, AMP and PWA can be used on same page, same article itself. What it does is an AMP page would bring in more organic traffic to your site, and with suggested links which are made on PWA would keep that engagement alive and keep the retention of the user on the site itself. So both AMP and PWA work hand in hand, and they actually together create a better user experience and a better yield for publishers who are adopting it.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. This is a question to cyber media. AMP pages load faster than normal pages, but when it comes to daily jobs and news related sites, we want to find out the best practices on how to make sure that our pages load and update regularly, because we have a lot of changes. What are the some tips that you have for these type of websites that are dealing with news and jobs?
Yeah, news and entertainment are the the first most kind of websites that have actually implemented AMP. Certainly, the ecosystem has been set for equal to all. No matter if I'm I was Times of India or any other website, if my content is good and I'm AMP implemented, I have an equal chance of being ranked on the best on the Google any nowadays, right? Now coming back to this, how can I keep my best practices on around this? Keep your content updated. Make sure that you are keeping the content updated on your website. Use the the latest information around it, and you would certainly get the best of the users staying there and earning better, and in the end making you earn better revenues. Even on the websites related to the job sites altogether, keep your information updated. Stay updated, guys. Users are coming to find the latest information on your website. Please keep them updated.
Okay. Thank you, guys. I'm going to summarize a couple of things that we have discussed here today. Firstly, we are excited to tell you about our native ads launch that has happened on July 5th. We have new in-feed and in-article ads. Both are part of the user flow, and both of these ad units are new ad units that you did not have to optimize before. So please make sure you implement these ad units to increase your revenue, to track performance, and to provide a great user experience. I think one number that I want all of you to take away today is 74% of all display advertising by 2021 is going to be native ads, which means that native ads is the future. Please make sure that you test and try out what works best for your site and you have these ads implemented. Secondly, we spoke about the importance of page speed, and we spoke about the two products that we have that can help you get to this page speed. One is accelerated mobile pages, otherwise known as AMP. The other one is PWA, which is progressive web app. So please make sure that you go through the information that we share with you and make sure that you have you reach out to our partners if you need any support in terms of implementing this. Our partners are available in market, so please get in touch with them through their contact details that they have shared with you, and make sure that you make the most out of this opportunity. Secondly, thirdly, I would like to also address this, is that a lot of the users in our countries implement ad blockers because ad blockers are implemented when the ads are intrusive and the ads are bad. So if we make sure that our users don't find our ads intrusive, and we make sure that we provide them a smooth experience with either native ads or implementation of ads on AMP or on PWA, our users will not be offended by the ads that we show. They will not find the ads intrusive, and they will not use ad blockers, which means that please make sure that you're providing the users the best user experience on your mobile, on desktop, wherever they are, on whichever platform. And this will make sure that they keep coming back to your site, and the bounce rate is reduced, the retention increased, and your performance improves. Having said this, I'd like to thank our partners, both Readware, Cybermedia, and Shruti, who works with them, for providing us so much insights. We will send you this deck, and we will send you a short survey followed after this hangout. So please make sure to fill out the survey. Please contact our partners if you need any assistance with AMP or PWA. They will be more than happy to help you out. And I hope all of you have a great evening. Thank you.